Hey, Pudding. It's been a while, hasn't it? Too long since I've kissed you like this. Way too long since I've held you, and possibly way too long since we've shared a meal together, too. Though personally, I don't really see how that matters. You're worrying about if I ate enough? You know, my stature isn't because of that. Right. Genetics, huh? It's what happens to even the best of us. And honestly, I don't really mind it. As much as it kind of sucks sometimes, it's not that big of a deal. As long as I have you. And you do find me attractive, right? I'm not just some throwaway, right? I guess it's a dumb question. Because the more I think about it, the more it'd be stupid if you kissed me like that if you didn't mean it. I'm pretty good at telling people's intentions. And yours, they never seemed bad. In fact, I think your intentions are the easiest to read. And that's part of what made me so attracted to you. It's that you could take the time to understand me. That things weren't so hard to understand, like with some other people. Especially people I just can't seem to understand. I find a lot of them. Maybe even most people. It's why I leaned so much into video games. I just never thought that I'd be able to make more friends outside of who I already had. But you managed to prove me wrong. I guess you could say you've given me hope for a second chance. Thanks for that. Even if love is different, I understand it's different. Despite how inexperienced I am, I'm not an idiot. No, I didn't mean it like that. I know you weren't asserting that I was. Hey, don't look so blue. Smile like this. But only if you mean it, okay? I wouldn't want you to smile if you didn't. I think it's worse than frowning. When you smile when you don't really mean it. Sometimes I can tell. You're putting on a smile to be strong for other people. And while I think it's admirable, it's not the best plan. At the end of the day, isn't that just convincing people that you'll end up disappointing in the end? Maybe it's too bleak, but I would rather know if you're sad. It's why I pay attention to the subtle things. When you're sad, your hand will move a certain way. Did you know that? Even sometimes, you'll avoid looking me in the eye. Other times, it's the way you breathe. When you're talking about something that gives you big anxiety, you'll take a slow, haggard breath. It's kind of sad, because I can read you like a book. Don't get me wrong. Most of the times, it's a blessing. But when you're really down, it just makes me want to take care of you. To make things better for you. Because I know it's not sometimes. Life isn't that easy. You can't always get the luck of the draw. And you definitely don't win everything. I should know. I was never really meant for volleyball, I think. And I just got dragged into it. But It's grown on me. Somewhere along the lines, I just found my place. And it's in large part thanks to you. Even if it's more of a hobby now, and I never made it to pros, it still makes me feel alive, like you do. Even sometimes I realize there's a lot to my life, a lot of nuances and things that I'm still trying to understand. But I've realized that I don't need to figure out everything at once. And I think you've still yet to realize that. You don't have to figure yourself out, Pudding. You just have to find what makes you happy and stick to that thing like glue. That's what you taught me without teaching me. It might sound stupid to word it that way, but I mean it. I learned a lot of things thanks to you. And I realized that we're both still learning a bunch of things. But somehow you give me a lot of courage with that. That I can actually do something. Not just with volleyball or my career path, but that love is right for me too. I always thought it wasn't suited to me. That there was more attractive guys or better guys with charisma and energy that I just don't have. But then I realized that somewhere along the lines, I found my place with you. Like I found my place with my friends, but different. I don't know how to explain it or put it into the right words that make it tied up and look like a fancy gift. But I can say it how I feel. And that's that I really care about you. And I cherish what we have. Almost more than anything. I say almost because I'm afraid of saying, actually wording it in the air. Because somewhere in my heart, I've realized that I'm kind of scared of what it means to care that much. That sometimes I don't want to jinx it, you know? You're so special. It's ironic, Pudding, that I care so much that I dare not word it for fear of fate doing something cruel. I never want that. I want good things. Really good things for us. And I know this might sound like I'm just floating in space. Like I haven't put a lot of thought into this, but I did. It's because, Pudding, I've gotten so attached to you that at this point, I'm afraid. What if something happened to you when you went out there in this big wide world? And it haunts me. That thought more than anything else. It's why I can't stop thinking. Sometimes it's torture. Other times it just feels wrong, but when I hold you, all those little voices in the back of my mind, they go away. 'Cause I decided from the moment that I met you that I'm going to protect you. That I'm going to make your life as best as I possibly can. That everything and everyone who doesn't respect that or understand that isn't really needed. I know it might sound cruel, but on some level, I realize that I'm a little crueler than I'd like to admit. Maybe even a little conniving. But I won't apologize for it. I can't. And do you know why? Because if I did, that would be the same as admitting I'm wrong for caring this much, for being obsessed with you. And honestly, I hate the idea of losing. I always have, but in that way, yeah, it's kinda like that. You know, I can handle losing a lot of things. But losing you is not something I can accept. Never. Not in a million years, Pudding. So stay with me. I know it's stupid. No, not because of that. It's stupid because I know I've got plenty of toxic traits, but I just can't care. Because I know you feel the same way about me. And I also know that no matter what, I don't want to compromise on this one thing. Having you in my arms is never the wrong choice. Pudding, I've realized that I'm hopelessly in love with you. I know what I've said in the past. And I know I said people who fall in love this much are stupid. But here's me eating my words. Don't look so smug about it. You really wanted to hear that, didn't you? Don't be stupid. Maybe it was me who was stupid all along. Well, if that's the case, I guess we'll be stupid together then. I'm so happy. So stupidly happy that I've realized that there's really so much more to love than I ever gave it credit. Because the way we could just hold each other like this, and it feels like the best thing ever. It makes me feel the most I think I've ever felt in my life. Just taking in all the things that comprise you. All the little details make you so perfect to me. And kissing and holding you, I just get butterflies every time. Do you know, before I met you, I didn't understand the concept of what butterflies actually meant. Instead, I thought it was some stupid euphemism for something else. I didn't think there was actually a feeling that felt like butterflies. But you taught me more than a little bit about what it really means. Might I help you understand too what those butterflies feel like? I know I'm being cocky, presumptuous, and way out of line, but might I have just a few chances at making you feel that the way you make me feel. Somehow I knew that you would never let go. That our love would end up like this. With plenty of problems, but even with all those problems, I forget they exist sometimes. I realize that sticking your head in the sand is in the way, but how could I worry about that when you're right here in my arms? You're so special, and I love you so much more than love. I know people usually say that they would die for someone, and that's their expression of love. But I think that's stupid. I think it's utterly stupid. Why would I ever die for you and leave you alone? No. I would live for you, Pudding. So that we can both stick together, so that it's not so serious like that. Life isn't like an RPG. It has the nuance of so many systems that no game could ever really capture. And yet you've captured it perfectly. That feeling that everybody wishes for, but nobody thinks exists. Yeah, that's kind of what we have going on. And I'll never regret it, Pudding. I'll never regret being with you and being your man. I've enjoyed just talking to you, just snuggling up and enjoying being alive. I think life doesn't have to be so complicated, and you and I, we might not have all the answers we need, but I think we have enough. Enough to make something out of this mess. A relationship, a smile, and a whole lot of things that just work, you know. Kisses, love. It's all arbitrary. But that doesn't make it less relevant. And it definitely doesn't make these butterflies go away. I love you. And I'll never take that back. No matter where life takes us or what happens. You're the only one for me. I'm yours truly. And I love you. Even more than life. But so much so that I never want either of us to say we'd die for each other. Stay still, Pudding. Leave everything to me. All your worries, all your stress. Let go of that, okay? I'll take it all on. Every last detail. Leave it all to your man. Don't you worry about me. Worry about yourself, darling. And maybe, And maybe, just maybe, you'll get your answer.